Okay, today is July 1st, and this is still part of episode 68 or 9, I forgot. Anyway, just pulled all the masking off and pulled it outside. It's very early, so the sun isn't totally out yet, at least not shining on the Jeep. So just wanted to see what it looked like out here in the semi-natural light. It's got some pretty significant orange peel pretty much all over. Woke up in the middle of the night and I figured out why, and that is I was having pressure issues at the gun and had to keep fidgeting with it. What it was is I didn't have it I didn't have the pressure turned down to about 80 psi at the main regulator over here, whereas I did when I sprayed the hood and the roll bar. I forgot to do that. So the pressure was really high coming into the gun, and it was erratic. So I think I overcompensated, and I didn't atomize the paint on the second coat well enough. And so I'm just trying to decide if I want to live with it or not. I'm definitely not going to address it now. If I do address it, it will be in the fall. And I'll just tape off, I'll tape off the hood, which won't need to be redone. And of course the top and probably the doors. I don't know. It's a little bit risky though doing it that way. I also saw that it's possible that I might be able to color sand it. And even though there's a risk of blotchiness, one guy said that he color sands routinely and clear coats over top, and you can't even tell. So I don't know. I'm going to do some more investigating, but there it is without the sun fully up, but just in some natural light. It looks pretty good outside. It just bothers me that it's got that orange peel, which was operator error on that. So I'll get it figured out. All right, see you soon. All right, and here's these doors. I put 3 full coats of the polyester primer surfacer on yesterday. So today I'm going to block sand them and see what I have. That stuff is really, really thick. So even though I was using a 2.2 tip, I still had to thin it with a little bit of acetone. And then something happened and I had to touch it right there, but it's going to get sanded out anyway. So the door looks good. Both doors look good just with that on it. I could probably just wet sand it with 400 or 320 and then 400 or something, and it might be fine. But I want to block sand it just to see what happens when I use that on it first. And then if I need to put more on, I will. All right, here we go. Okay, I put some guide coat on this before I block sanded it, and I went ahead and decided to block with 180 because I assumed that I would be putting more paint on or more surfacer anyway. So what the guide coat does, of course, you've missed it on there, and it's basically looks like it's just a powdery. Well, I'll show you this door. Haven't done it yet. So it's just lightly covered in black. Contrasting color. And my pups down there, they're good boys. They've been up all night keeping the deer out of the garden. Anyway, so where the low spots are indicated by the dark, right? Because the block didn't remove it from that section. So anywhere that's lighter like that means it's sitting high, or that is a valley, whichever way you want to look at it. In any case, the only problem though with this door is overall is that it's got a flex to it. You can see that flexing. So, like right there, I can push in on the door. So when I'm sanding, I can only press down, lightly, because I don't want to distort the panel. I want it to be what it would be just driving down the road or whatever. So it's a little bit difficult to do because there's flex in that panel, but What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some additional surfacer to the areas that are dark, and just kind of focus on those areas to kind of try to build that up a little bit. All right, here we go. All right, I just sanded this top with 220. It's not supposed to be smooth, but I had to make it smooth because I had to make a repair here and down there where the fiberglass was showing, and I knew if I didn't use something on it that it would show through on the paint. So I opted for the repair of it, and I treated these areas with the rust converter. There was a little area up here and then one more area over here that I had to fill. So getting ready to put some polyester surfacer on it, probably just one good coat, and I might just use actually I'll probably just use 2K primer, and let it sit a little bit, and then wet sand it and spray the rat rod black. All right, here we go. All right, I've got this top masked off and ready to prime, and I have decided to use the polyester on it because there's some where I sprayed the rust reformer. That's a little bit more than what I think that regular primer can handle to kind of fill that in. So I'm going to use the polyester primer surfacer and let it sit for an hour and a half, like they say, and then be ready to paint the black. All right, here we go. Almost forgot to do the handle. All right, I've got 2 coats of the polyester filler surfacer on here. I'll let it dry for about an hour and a half, and then I'll be ready to wet sand and spray the rat rod black. So and that's gonna do it for today once I do that. So I'll be back with you guys here in a bit. All right, here it is. I painted it used 3 full coats of the rat rod black. So it was I used a whole quart on it. The only thing I don't like about that paint, I've never used it before, but this up here, it looks splotchy, but what that is actually is dried. It's like it's almost like it's overspray, but it's not really overspray because the gun was held easily probably 8 to 10 inches away from the surface. So I'm hoping, well, I did use a tack cloth right before the last coat, and that's when I noticed that that's what that was. So hopefully, it's still drying right now. I put the last coat on it just a few minutes ago, so it's drying, and hopefully it will take care of itself, because that looks terrible on the top. I mean, I know most of it, again, is just not dry, overspray. So where, it bounces off and then it settles back down on the top. So I didn't really have that issue with the hood. Obviously the hood was in the same orientation, so it's a little bit strange to me, but hopefully that sheen will dry up there and it won't be splotchy looking. But Outside of that, I knew that there were some imperfections still on the top, such as right here. But again, like the Jeep, I could have spent a week just working on this top and trying to get it perfect. But you know, I'm not trying to make a perfect Jeep, you know, perfect paint job, because if I did that, I'd be going to car shows. This is the driver, so this is another little spot right there. So there's little places on it, but I'm not worried about it. I've resigned myself to you know, the fact that it will look good and it will be solid and I'll enjoy it. So that's the main thing. All right, catch you guys next time.